Welcome to this episode of the Delaware Microsoft Masterclass. Today I'm pleased to be joined by Stacy Denton, who's the Account Director for DEFRA from Microsoft, and my colleague Christelle Michel, who's a Senior Solution Architect on supply chain. Now, today we're recording just after COP27. Obviously that's some really quite interesting commitments from a macro level, I guess. But I guess bringing it back down to the UK perspective, and obviously Stacy, you're working with DEFRA, maybe just start to talk to us a little bit about what DEFRA, or who DEFRA are rather, and kind of what you've been doing with it.
Sure, happy to do so. So as you mentioned, I'm the account director for DEFRA, and DEFRA is the UK government body that is the Department for the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. And their whole objective or mission is all around protecting our natural environment, making sure that our air is cleaner, our water is cleaner, and they're leaving the environment to our future generations in a better place than it is today. And I guess that's why it's so great to work with them as a customer, because Microsoft also has the same mission, is around driving sustainability across public and private sector. So it's a nice marriage of joint missions, I would say. So I've been working with DEFRA for the last 2.5 years. And over that time, we've kind of evolved what we've been doing to support them around sustainability. We were a founding member in 2008 of their DEFRA E-Sustainability Alliance. And what that means is that DEFRA pulled together a number of their IT providers to support them on their digital journey and move to cloud. And how do those suppliers around them help share best practice, collaborate together, and overall support the DEFRA mission to reduce their carbon footprint? And then in COP26, we had a joint DESA, so the DEFRA E-Sustainability Alliance, came together to have a 1-week event where we were promoting that technology has a major factor in driving sustainability and should not be forgotten. As far as, there's a lot of conversation around what can everybody be doing, or acknowledgement of the need to make targets around driving to net zero. But what role can technology play is what the DEFRA team is really trying to highlight. Now, moving into COP27, they have evolved that group into what is now called the Government Digital Sustainability Alliance. So this is a government-wide organization now. So we moved from DEFRA focus now to the Government Digital Sustainability Alliance. So we're all signing charters, the suppliers who are involved in the Government Digital Sustainability Alliance, we're all signing charters to say we are not just only supporting DEFRA on their sustainability mission, we're supporting all of the UK government on that net zero target of 2050.
It'd be good to understand, based on the experience and the way you've been doing with DEFRA, what have been some of the challenges that they've had in understanding that?
It's not just DEFRA. I think every customer probably has similar challenges. So I think the data, the collection of the data, and making sure the data is accurate is probably the biggest challenge. How do you actually pull together a collaborative team to focus on getting that baseline together? So one of the things we've found within our customer is, you've got IT really trying to lead the charge here on delivering sustainability through IT, but it's a much broader challenge across the organization than that. So you need to pull in a real large group of stakeholders. So you need the business involved, not just IT driving it. And that's where getting a steering group together that involves the property team, finance team, HR, it really touches so many aspects of the business. And that starting point is really critical to make sure you've got the business aligned with what you're trying to do.
I guess in terms of approach, would you, based on the experience you've had thus far, would you try and tackle the entire organization?
So my recommendation, if you're starting on this, is to start with something that's manageable, something that you can get your arms around and make some kind of quick progress to get people engaged, bought into the approach, and then take the next step.
In terms of tools to help organizations through this pathway, are you able to just kind of share some of the tooling that perhaps DEFRA can use from Microsoft?
So initially, DEFRA is using the Emissions Impact Dashboard, which is a tool that we provide to our customers free of charge so that they can see their carbon footprint of their Microsoft usage. That only tracks their Microsoft footprint. Clearly, they need to see their entire carbon footprint. So the next step was then a product that was launched during COP26 was the Cloud for Sustainability. The Cloud for Sustainability is, at the moment, it's tracking your carbon footprint, scopes 1, 2, and 3. But the intention is it won't just track carbon, it will track water, waste, and ecosystem. So you have all of that in one tool, in one product. And so we started talking to DEFRA about the Cloud for Sustainability right around COP27 time period. And then they participated in a trial earlier this year, and they were the first UK government to work with us on a trial of the product. And it's great because, look, we would love to use the DEFRA emission factors in the tool, as many organizations, not just in the UK, but globally, use the DEFRA carbon emission factors. So there's kind of a mutual benefit here that if you've got the carbon emission factors in the tool, then customers already have those automated inside the tool. So we started a proof of value earlier this year, and we spent a couple of months with them taking their data, trying to put that into the tool to see if it gives them any value above and beyond the current spreadsheet process that they're using today.
And what was their experience?
Some of the challenges around getting the data, different formats of the data, stakeholders that need to be involved, different priorities. So we're now moving into the next stage where we're going to be running an MVP for DEFRA and one of their arm's length bodies, their largest arm's length body, the Environment Agency. And we've had to narrow down the scope for the MVP based on the feedback from our proof of value. We're now looking at focusing the MVP around data sets from the Environment Agency that they have spent a lot of time and effort identifying the correct data sets, cleansing them, getting them ready to import into the tool, and the DEFRA property group, who have their data around all of their building data and travel data as well. So pulling those different data sets into the tool for an MVP as almost kind of a lighthouse project for the rest of the arm's length bodies.
Cloud for Sustainability as a solution actually follows the record, report, and then reduce model. For those who don't know, it allows you to define the different business activities. With those business activities, you can then ingest transaction data from your line of business applications, whether it's Microsoft or any other third-party application. With that data, and then with the factor libraries and the calculations model, then convert that transaction data into emission data. And then armed with that suite of information, you can then obviously put in place programs, scorecards, and so you can track progress to actually show the impact of the initiatives that you have.
Lots of companies are trying to reach net zero. And a lot of them have made promises to reach net zero by a certain date, made pledges. And in addition to that, you've got the national target of 2050 to be net zero. So organizations will try to improve their operations as much as they can to remove the carbon out of their internal operations, but they can only go so far. So they're using carbon credits to offset their overall carbon footprint, and they'd like to be able to keep track of that in the tool. Call to action, I would say, is for them is first of all the who, getting your stakeholders aligned. I would say number two is probably making sure that you are you start small. You find a place to start. Finding an easy place to start, low-hanging fruit. And then I would say number three is ask for help. We have, Microsoft is happy to help. So, we'll support DEFRA going through this exercise and their arm's length bodies. There's a whole team of people who are ready to help and share lessons learned. So people shouldn't feel that they're on their own. Pick something small that you've got control over, that you understand really well now, start there, and then build up from there. Don't wait until everything is perfect, because you never get there, and it'll be 2050 before you know it.
Stacy, thank you very much for your time today. I've certainly found it very useful. I'm sure viewers have as well. If you'd like to learn more about planning for sustainability, please get in contact. Look forward to seeing you soon.